Welcome to Transfer Tuesdays, and today's focus is on veteran services. And this event tonight is brought to you by CCBC Academic Advisement. I'm Courtney Topolsky. I am the Assistant Director of Student Services at CCBC on the Dundalk campus. It's also brought to you by the Office of Transfer and Degree Acceleration. Miss Ann Gamble could not be with us this evening, and CCBC Veteran Services, and we're joined by Dr. Derek Little. And today, thanks, Derek. Today, we're super excited to have guests from University of Maryland Global Campus, University of Baltimore, and Towson. So from UMGC, we have Ms. Kelly Grooms. From University of Baltimore, we have Josiah Gutlin. And from Towson, we have Dario Di Battista, along with one of his students, Mr. Marcus. So we're going to go through, we're going to ask some questions. They're going to give you all their information that they can, and hopefully you'll get a lot out of this event. So the first thing we're going to do is have them just go around quickly and give us a little bit of an overview about their program, and then we'll go to our set questions. So Kelly, I'm going to turn it over to you.
Thanks, Courtney. Hi, everyone. I'm Kelly Grooms. I'm Assistant Director with Veterans Initiatives and Outreach here at University of Maryland Global Campus. We are, for those that don't know, we are part of the University System of Maryland. We are Maryland's public online university. However, we do have locations located throughout the DMV area. So for our military connected students, they have the option to take classes either completely online or in a hybrid format at one of our locations in the DMV area. And currently, we've got Mr. Nathan James. He is assigned community college veteran military education coordinator who is based out at CCBC on a weekly basis on Wednesdays from 10 to 2. Currently, he is located upstairs, but in the advising space. There's a corner there for veterans, and occasionally he'll be in the barn at CCBC in the lounge there. But with Nate at UMGC, you have the opportunity to work with Nate, really, we say from app to cap. So at the point of doing the application with UMGC, and even while you're still at CCBC, you and Nate can work together to be able to determine a degree plan that's going to be best fit for you based on what you're pursuing at CCBC and your goals and ambitions moving forward in your academic journey. And I know that we will cover more about services we have, so I will stop here and turn it over to Josiah.
Thank you, Kelly. Hi, everybody. My name is Josiah Gutlin. I'm the director of the Bob Parsons Veterans Center at the University of Baltimore. We are a small public four-year institution located in Midtown. It's kind of in the middle of the three big CCBC campuses, right there off of 83 there in the city. And we have about 4,000 students at the University of Baltimore. About 2,000 of them are undergrad. About 2,000 of them are in graduate school or in law school or getting their PhD or doctorate or something like that. Our veteran population here is about 200 veteran and military affiliated, is what we call them, for our dependents and spouses and things like that. We're going to cover some more. We have four major distinct colleges here. We have the law school, we have a business school, we have a College of Arts and Sciences, and we have the College of Public Affairs. So we're great in those four areas. If you're looking for nursing, not for you, sorry. But that's just a little bit about us. If you are interested in applying to the University of Baltimore, you can reach out to us. We do waive your application fee for all our veteran and military affiliated students at the University of Baltimore. And then I'll hand it over to Dario.
Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whenever you're watching this. My name is Dario Di Battista. I'm the director of the Military and Veteran Center here at Towson University. I'd like to introduce one of our newest VA work study students, Marcus Robinson.
Hello, Marcus Robinson.
Always enjoy giving a student perspective because I'm only 39, but some of y'all, I might as well be a Vietnam veteran. We believe that all student veterans and their family members deserve outstanding support and services, and we execute that through our first stop, one-stop shop here on campus, our dedicated center. where we are just here to assist with anything, benefits, how to maximize your benefits, related supports and services. We think of ourselves as a mini student affairs and mini enrollment services for our students. Our phrase is applicant to alumni. If you apply here, you'll get a message from me saying, hello, I'm here. What can we do for you? And if you are part of our community, which is vibrant and growing, we'll hold on to you through our alumni alliance that were created. Different than the other two schools, who are also great for student veterans and their family members. You can think of us as the large traditional in-person sort of college experience. Football games, lots of community activities, programs, events. Very large school, 20,000 undergrads and grads. 6 different colleges, 160 different majors, lots of different options. If you're looking for an online one, we are not for you. If you're looking for nursing, we are for you.
Y'all are funny. I appreciate the humor as we go through this. For many people, this is at the end of their day. So some of you have already answered this question, but if you haven't, the next question that we had built in is there a full-time veteran counselor or advisor on your campus or at your locations? And what type of assistance do they offer for student veterans? And how do I contact them?
That's a loaded question, Courtney. So yes, so short answer specifically for CCBC students, veteran students, Nathan James is going to be your point of contact. So Nathan can be reached at VRC@umgc.edu, and I'd be happy to provide that email address in this Zoom chat. But another thing to add about just our veteran services and advising services in general is UMGC is a global university. So we're not just based in stateside, we're in Europe and Asia also. The majority of our population of students in Europe and Asia are veteran students. And the students are able to go on site really at any location to be able to speak to someone from an advising perspective. Our total percentage of military connected students within the global university is 61%. So we are very heavily invested in the advising piece of it. And since we are an online institution, we have really shifted to a virtual advising aspect, which has been very successful and appealing for students. The other piece that you addressed, what resources, I think Courtney, you said, what
type of assistance do the counselors or advisors provide to veteran students?
Thank you very much.
Sure.
So assistance, yeah. So it's navigating your benefits. It's understanding how to access your benefits, putting you in contact with different financial resources, ensuring that your benefits are getting certified, connecting you with the VA, getting you in contact specifically with our Vet Success on Campus counselor, who is a VA employee, putting you in contact with them if that's needed. So really the assistance that our staff are able to provide is just that kind of, hand in hand as much as you want to walk you through your academic journey.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Josiah?
So at the University of Baltimore, we have 2 full-time staff members that work in our Veteran Center. There's me, I'm the director, and then we have a coordinator whose name is Dina. And we're both Army veterans, so if you're a veteran or military kid or military dependent, we get it. I'm also an old military kid back in the day. My dad was in the Air Force for 20 years, so my whole life I grew up as a military dependent. And then I was smart enough to then join the military on my own accord. So there's just the 2 of us there. We don't actually do academic advising at the University of Baltimore. Like I said, about 50% of our students are in graduate degree programs or in law school. And since their programs are so specialized and so unique, we just try to stay out of that business and let the professionals, let the doctors, let the academic advisors specific to those programs do the academic advising. So you're like, well, if you don't do academic advising, Josiah, what does your office do all day? Well, we make sure your benefits are taken care of, just like Kelly. We do a big piece of that. We are also only located 1.4 miles away from the VA hospital in Baltimore. So there's been a number of times that we've helped our students get VA healthcare. We've had VA people come to our center before to help sign people up for VA healthcare if that's something that they're interested in. Daria will tell you something about the VITAL program, which is amazing. We don't have that at University of Baltimore yet, but we're hoping to get it sometime soon. In addition to that, we have a 4-pillar approach that we do for veteran programming to not only provide opportunities for veteran students to get to know each other and bond, but also inform the greater student population about the veteran and military experience. So they look at us as real human people and not just like caricatures of Saving Private Ryan or something like that. We want them to see us like as real humans. So we have social emotional stuff where you just like get together and hang out, and that could be like watching sports or going bowling. And we also have things that are like academic based to help you with your studies. We also have career-based programming to like help you with your resume, help translate that military experience into a civilian resume, which can be challenging at times. And then we also like to give back to our community. So we'll have at least 1 or 2 or 3 opportunities a year to do some sort of service to our community. So that way you can give back, which also makes your heart feel good. So that's what we're doing here at with our staff members at the University of Baltimore.
Great, thank you.
So again, here at Towson, we do have 2 full-time staff members. We rely heavily on our VA work study students. So we're always trying to use your professional skills that you gained in the military, help you translate that to a civilian sort of enterprise, and help you build off your studies. If you're studying marketing, for instance, well, I need a social media person. Come help me out. If you're studying business, I have a budget. What I do with it, I don't really know, but like, let's do a breakdown, and you can help inform me on my processes and my spending, and maybe come up with a cost serving initiative. The buzzword in higher ed is high impact practices. But again, because we are a small city, Towson has its literal own zip code. We have partners across the board who are veterans reps to assist in any sort of way. We have this in academics, advising. We have it in career center, counseling center, civic engagement. We know our students want to participate, want to get involved. Particularly for those who have served or are serving, they've already raised their hand to do more things, but maybe want to participate in a different way, sort of the philanthropic, charitable way that Josiah was discussing. And again, tons of programs, events, related supports. I like to tell people I'm like Reddit. You can ask me anything. And just like the military, if I don't know the answer, I will find you the answer quickly, and we will follow through and close the loop. So that's about us here.
Great, thank you. So the next is a couple questions combined again. Is there a Student Veterans of America, so as the VA, chapter or any other veteran-related club on your campus? And do you have a Veterans Center?
Another excellent question, Courtney. We do, in fact, have an SVA chapter here at UMGC. Our SVA chapter, there are certain eligibility criteria that must be met in order to join that chapter. Once you have met that eligibility criteria, it is vetted through someone like myself or another colleague, then you are accepted into our chapter. That lives on a digital platform within our the platform that we use for the university for all things networking. So yes, we do have an SVA chapter. In addition to the SVA chapter, we also have the opportunity, we are also a member of the Salute National Honor Society. So students are eligible to join that honor society. Again, there's certain academic criteria that must be met in order to do that. But if they have met that, we have direct communication with Salute National, and they will actually end up getting an honor cord that they're able to wear with their regalia as well. In addition to those 2 organizations, we as a university have specific Facebook pages for student veterans. So we have a Student Veteran Association Facebook page. We also have a Facebook page specifically for military and veteran spouses. And we also have just the military and veterans page in general. And then once you become a student with the university, you have access to a closed group called the VESI Virtual Student Union, where you're able to network with other military connected students, and where people can post just upcoming events, just really anything in there in order to just kind of build that connection with other military connected students. And I believe the last part, Courtney, you asked about a physical location, right?
Yes, do you
Awesome.
have a veteran center? And I know that UMGC is predominantly online, but I also know that you have some campuses that our students could go to if they chose to.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'll start with first the locations that we have. So I mentioned earlier, UMGC has locations all throughout the Maryland, DC, and Virginia area. We are located at pretty much every military installation within the DMV area and the education office. So students are able to visit there to speak with an advisor on site. I will say, however, there isn't necessarily a lounge on those locations. UMGC owned locations, there are spaces for students to go. For example, Shady Grove, Hagerstown, Dorsey Station, Southern Maryland Higher Education Center. But our home for our Veterans Lounge with UMGC is located in Elkridge, Maryland at the Dorsey Station location. So our lounge is exactly what it sounds like, what everyone's used to. We've got the computers, the couches, the coffee, the snacks, the friendly faces from our student workers. So yeah, that is there at Dorsey Station.
Great, thank you.
So at the University of Baltimore, we also have an SVA chapter there. It was, started, and then during COVID, it kind of like not much was going on. And then since COVID, we've had quite the resurgence. We just inducted or just invited, 20 new members in beginning of the spring semester. So our SVA is getting larger, still beginning to grow. We've also had the ability to send 2 people to the SVA National Conference for the last 2 years in a row. So we've had an advisor and someone on the leadership team go 2 years in a row to kind of provide those professional development opportunities, sort of those networking opportunities. We're able to meet authors and Congress people. It was a great chance for them to do that, as well as I have students and advisors going just on, well, it depends on when you watch this, but it will be tomorrow in my time, March 1st. SVA is having Washington Week, and we're having some students that are actually going down for Washington Week to meet with their representatives and talk about issues that veterans are facing today. So we do have an SVA chapter. They also do programming and things like that. So me and my programming doesn't involve like going out. My stuff usually has something that's going to be on campus. SVA does things that go off campus. So they'll go bowling together, or they'll go watch a movie, or they might go to an O's game or something like this, or something like that. Sometimes there is maybe a little bit of drinking involved, but I don't go on those trips because those are for the students. The students do that, okay? And they're grown-ups, most of them, I think. So they can make those decisions if they wish. But our SVA also does their own sort of programming, and it's a good time for them to learn how to run programming as well. So I kind of help them with that process. As far as our Veteran Center, I'm at home now, so I can't give you the full tour of the Veteran Center, but we have a magnificent Veteran Center here at the University of Baltimore. It's called the Bob Parsons Veteran Center. It's one of our alumni. He created the company GoDaddy, which was a website company that was really popular. He sold it a few years ago, and then donated some money back to his alma mater, us, to start the Veteran Center. He's also a Marine Corps veteran, Semper Fi, Dario, and he was a Vietnam and Purple Heart recipient. He was wounded in Vietnam. So he gave us the funds for that. So we have 2 different like seating areas. We have some couches, we have TVs, we have the coffee and the cool artwork on the wall, and our offices, my office and my coordinator's office, are co-located within that space if you need support, as well as having like a conference room and a computer room. And it's a really big space for our only 200 military veteran students, and it's open from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Thursday. But we also have key card access. So if you have your University of Baltimore ID card, you can just beep, tap it on the door, and you get access to the Veteran Center anytime the building is open. So that's us. Dario.
Great, thank you. And I believe I remember you saying that it's like 7:30 in the morning till something very late in the evening, that if they could access with their IDs?
7:30 a.m. to, or no, 7 a.m. to
Okay.
11 p.m. Monday through Saturday, and then there's like 10 to 8 on Sundays or something. It's not open the entire as much on
Okay.
Sundays, but it's still open on Sundays. It's available 7 days a week, if you want to be there in person.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Yes, like our colleagues here, our contemporaries, we do have a dedicated space on campus, Veteran Center, coffee, couches. I bought the biggest TV I could find, literally like the biggest TV to fit on the wall, and tried to do some nice, fun stuff when I started my role. Some of the veterans felt a little less support in the past, so we bought $100 worth of hot salsas. If you want to try some really nice ghost pepper stuff, if you're feeling crazy, feel free to go ahead. But I'm gonna let Marcus talk about our Tiger Veterans Group. This is a University of Towson initiative, different than SVA, and also let him know about. I'll also ask him to speak about some military initiatives that he's doing as part of the larger Student Government Association here. Please.
So the Tiger Veterans Group is a military students group for military students, and it's basically the same thing that the gentleman explained. We go out, we go out, have fun, get our minds off everything that stresses out during the normal school day, and that includes everything. So we've been to the arcade, we go out to happy hour, we go out on the weekends, and it's honestly just a really good group. And it gets veteran students who may not have the chance to network or talk all the time because it's class and then home. A lot of veteran students are commuters, to actually get to know other veteran students. So it's a good opportunity to come out, talk to each other. And it's also, as he said, it's a good event coordination opportunity. And that's pretty much all about the military veterans, Tiger Veterans Group. It's cool. It's cool. And I'm the assistant director on SGA for civic engagement sustainability. And when I was a senator, I wrote a bill to add a military affairs representative to the Constitution, and have it as a part of a team of the Student Government Association. And so basically their role is to just be the liaison between student government and military affiliated students, because we are sadly underrepresented. And hopefully I fill that slot in upcoming whenever it gets approved and whatnot. I do have high hopes that it will get approved. And it's also to help this guy right here get all the stuff that he wants done and be a liaison for him and the students. Is also just a second voice to say, hey, we're here, don't forget about us, because we are, sadly forgetting about. But that's okay, we're getting there, we're building it. It's a stepping stone.
So opportunities for students to support each other and support the institution and its inclusivity and diversity goals.
Thank you. So the next, of course, is another grouping of questions. And this may be very simple and be yes, 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 all the way around, but we'll see. Has your school signed the VA Principles of Excellence? Do you accept ACE credit for military experience? And is your school approved for TA funding? And do you participate in the Yellow Ribbon program?
Yes, all the above. Final answer.
Thank you.
Yes. Same as her. Yeah, same as Kelly. Or over here, wherever Kelly is on your screen. I don't know. Okay, but yes, the same as Kelly. Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Every good institution should be yes, yes, yes.
Agreed.
We're yes with the above, but we will often advise students, unless for some reason you live in Pennsylvania or Delaware and drive in each day, you probably don't need Yellow Ribbon because of new provisions under law that allow for in-state eligibility. As far as TA goes, yes, we do it. Yes, TA has been very challenging. But again, we are your advocates within the system. Your phone of friends. I got in touch with the West Point Education Center, for instance, and finally figured out who is actually doing TA requests for Maryland, and we've been able to successfully help out some of our reserve and guard students who, you know, through no fault of their own, were screwed over by FTA over the past couple of years.
Thank you. So the last one may be an interesting one for our students. What are the popular majors among veterans at your college or university?
Yeah. So definitely at UMGC, the most popular ones are our cybersecurity programs and our business programs.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Yeah, at the University of Baltimore, we have those 4 major colleges. So for undergraduate student, obviously law is a big important thing because we have the best law school in the state of Maryland. Unless you ask the College Park School of Law, but they're liars, of course, because they're lawyers. So the University of Baltimore School of Law, best school of law. So we have a lot of, for our undergraduate, we have a lot of pre-law students or pre-whatever, because you can be history major, you can be an English major, you can do whatever major you want as an undergrad and still go to law school or go to med school. You just got to make sure you do the prerequisites for that, right? I'm sure when you talk with your academic advisors, they will tell you these things. But in addition to the law school and pre-law, we have a lot of public affairs sort of positions through our College of Public Affairs. So people that want to work in government, work in public relations, work in government relations. We have a lot of majors that are popular with that. But the major ones above, other than law, is entrepreneurship and business and computer information systems, computer science, computer technology, cybersecurity. I kind of lump those all together because my degree is in biochemistry, so I don't necessarily understand all that stuff. So, but it's all computer stuff, and they're great at it. And they talk to me, and I go, "Yes, that's wonderful," about their things. So, those are the top 3 would be law, entrepreneurship, business, and computer, but then a spackling of public affairs.
Like our friends, business is a big one. Entrepreneurship. Who would have figured after being told what to do for 4, 8, 12, 20 years, you want to be the boss. And our entrepreneurial students are supported by our startup. It's a business incubator in the heart of downtown. We took over the Armory building and have created a community space for our students, but also anybody in the state of Maryland local who has ideals for business, wants to find funding for a business, wants to learn business 101 bootcamp sort of things. They do have some Shark Tank style competitions, which is all very exciting and cool. And not for nothing, their executive director is a son of a naval commander. So he's super excited to work with our military affiliated students. Beyond that, a lot of biochem. These are often pre-nursing sort of approaches. We do have a lot of vet students in nursing, physician assistants, and occupational therapy. Exercise science and kinesiology. Go figure. You like working out in the military. Now I want to make that a career. And also computer science and information technology. And some smattering of cool vets who, for some reason, want to become film directors, studying in our visual media.
That's awesome. I just want to open up and allow the opportunity if there's anything that we didn't cover that you would like to share about your university, your program. Dr. Little, if there's anything that I missed that you feel is important to share, I will take this brief moment to do a shameless plug for Degrees to Succeed. All 3 universities that are present are part of that partnership. That means that you as the student can day one say that you want to go to one of these wonderful universities and be assigned an advisor at that university, as well as someone here at CCBC to make sure that you're guided all the way through this process, and that you have everything in order and that you've got your associate's degree before you transfer. We know statistically you're a whole lot more likely to finish that bachelor's degree if you have your associate's degree before you transfer. So for students who are watching this, you can go online, go onto our CCBC webpage and search for Degrees to Succeed. We have 7 partner schools, but we have 3 with us today who we have a really great relationship with their veterans programs. So Dr. Little, if there's anything that you want to add, and then we'll go around in a circle again.
Okay, perfect. I think it's great. I think one of the biggest piece of advice I can give to veterans and military connected students who are transferring is to connect with the university you like to attend as soon as possible, because it'll save time and allow and ease a process with that transition. I was working with a young lady the other day who was newly accepted into the VRE program, and she needed that form that a lot of the DC counselors in DC typically have for the veterans who will be transferring to Towson after she completes her studies here in the summer. So that this way she can have that connection. She already knows which classes she needs to take, which class will transfer over, and that will make it beneficial for her, as well as looking at the opportunities for funding for scholarships and grants. I know these universities can assist with offsetting the cost. I'm a proud graduate of Towson University, and I would not have went to UMGC if it wasn't for the Conroy Scholarship, because I said, hey, you're going to pay for this? I'll go. Sure, I'll take it. I've always wanted an MBA. So I think connecting with the college as early as possible, because then that's when you have the most time. You can acclimate yourself, you can be prepared, and then there's no sudden surprises, as well as taking the advantage of the opportunities of the scholarships that are available. If there's a limit to the federal work study opportunity that's available as well, and just orientating yourself to the college side. This way you can ensure you're on the correct path, that you can obtain your educational goal as soon as possible and then go into the workforce.
Fantastic. All right. Kelly, anything we missed that you want to make sure we know about UMGC?
Yeah. So, yes, the Degrees to Succeed plug was incredible. Also did want to put in there, since UMGC and CCBC are partners, that as a result of completing the application to UMGC, your application fee will automatically be waived, even if the Degrees to Succeed program isn't the right fit for you. Additionally, what I wanted to add about UMGC are the financial opportunities that are available to our students, specifically military connected. So twice a year in my office of Veterans Initiatives, we're responsible for awarding 6 total $1,000 scholarships to students. The requirements for the scholarship are very low impact, if that's the right use of it. There are not many, there's not much to eligibility criteria to meet in order to be considered for one of those scholarships. In addition to that, we also have something called a Veterans Assistance Fund, which is specifically there for veterans who have exhausted their benefits, who are in need of some additional help. And the Veterans Assistance Fund can award up to $3,000 within an academic year. Within the Veterans Assistance Fund, it is broken down through pillars. So we invite veterans to see what pillar is going to best fit what they're experiencing and their financial need, and submit an application, and then we review it and make a decision of whether we will award the funding or not. In some cases, if we're not able to award the full amount, we will at least award a partial amount to assist that student. And then lastly, we have the highly acclaimed award of a Student Veteran of the Year. So students have the opportunity to self-nominate, staff can nominate, students can nominate each other for this particular award. The awarding of that comes with a $3,000 scholarship, the opportunity to be recognized on site in the presence of all of our upper leadership, our president of the university, at our Adelphi location for our annual Veterans Day event also. And you get a really nice award that, you know, dubs you the Student Veteran of the Year. So just wanted to add those.
That's awesome. Thank you.
That's awesome, Kelly. I really like how you guys recognize and have the leadership of your institution recognize that Student Veteran of the Year. I'm totally going to steal that. So thank you for giving me that little something in my mind. At the University of Baltimore, I want to talk about scholarships as well. But first, I want to make sure CCBC, you guys are 100% commuter campus. That's what it means to go to a community college. The University of Baltimore, we're also 100% commuter campus. So we are, I like to say, a grown-up school for grown-ups, because the average age of our student is 30 years old. So if you don't like being the oldest person in your class because you were in the Navy or the Army or Marine Corps, or Air Force, whatever, for 4, 5, 6, 20 years, come to University of Baltimore and you will not be the oldest person in your class. I can almost promise that. Can't promise it, because you might be like 80 listening to this and then just come to prove me wrong, which I will still love you and accept you. In addition to that, for our grown-up school for grown-ups, we offer a wealth of scholarship to our transfer students, usually somewhere in the round of about $1,000, but our scholarships go from $500 to $2,500. The average veteran student that we have, veteran and military affiliate, we got about 200 of them, receive about $1,000 a year would be the average, right? So that's gonna be based off of your academic standings coming in. If you're graduating from CCBC with a 4.0, you're more likely to get that $2,500, that $3,000 transfer scholarship. Whereas if you're coming in with like a 2.3, probably not going to get the 3,500, but you will still get accepted. So it's just something to look like that. We have a lot of scholarships for our veteran students. I don't know if it's because they're veterans that they get it, or just because we're very giving people here at the University of Baltimore. But our foundation it definitely has a soft spot for our veteran students. And we also have like emergency funding and things like that specifically for veterans, as well as we just have like emergency funding for our regular students, which you would be eligible to apply for both of those if you need it. If you are running low on your Chapter 33 benefits, because you changed your major 3 or 4 times like I did in college, then we can walk you through applying for the Chapter 31 VRNE process. If you're not familiar with that, I'm sure Dario and Kelly would be happy to walk you through that process as well. But it's not nearly as scary as you think it is. And the worst thing that can happen is you apply and they say no, and you're in the same spot that you were in before you applied. So I highly suggest applying for that if you have at that minimum 10% disability rating. All right, that's it for me.
Thank you.
So, yes, all the above, all the same. I would like to riff off Derek though, as a proud CCBC alum. Whatever school you choose, I hope you dream, and I hope you realize the full potential of what you have to be. I graduated, maybe you've heard the story. I did not do very well in high school, wound up joining the military. But I was able to go from CCBC to Johns Hopkins, and now I'm in a doctoral program studying higher educational leadership. And I'm doing that for veterans. I'm doing that for our community. It's a sad demographic reality that the population of veterans is going to shrink. It's going to become much more diverse. And if we don't realize our own full potential, whether that's academically, personally, etc., we're not going to have veteran leaders in business, computer technology, cybersecurity, healthcare, whatever the field is, and that's going to be bad for our community. So I challenge you to learn about these benefits. Yes, I get it. You're getting out, so many of you. 2 years was a lot. 2 more years is a lot. 4 more years beyond that is a lot. A doctoral program is a lot. I hear you, and I'm in the throes of it. And sometimes I wonder why I'm doing it. But I know by taking advantage of the scholarships, programs, knowledge that everybody here has, I've been able to go farther than I ever dreamed. And I'm going to be able to use that to support our community, those currently serving, and their family members. So whatever decision you make, please do dream, and please do realize that you're ready to crush it exactly because of your service, and you can go much farther than you believe.
Awesome. Thank you so very much. I think that inspiration is probably the very best place for us to stop this evening, unless Dr. Little has anything that he would like to add. So please just go and see your veterans folks here at CCBC, see your academic advisor at CCBC. Let us connect you with the wonderful folks who are on the video tonight. We want you to be able to meet your career and occupational and life goals. So I'm going to turn off the recording now.